Share the story. Share the story. Share the story. Share the story.
Water is everybody's problem. Everybody needs water. Everybody has an interest in preserving their shared water resources. And therefore this campaign is also aimed at stimulating the public to take action to make sure that we can preserve these dwindling resources together.
Though Cyprus is an island surrounded by water, we are still very short of water in the summer.
My name is Michiel Sakai. I am a United Nations volunteer in Cyprus. Cyprus is an island located in the Mediterranean Sea with a population of 1 million. Since 1974, the island has been divided into two communities, Greek Cypriot community and Turkish Cypriot community. United Nations Development Program Action for Cooperation and Trust, where I work, is a peace-building program office in Cyprus. In this film, I would like to introduce a project of awareness-raising measures for water saving, which was launched on 10th of November.
Well, I think it's good that we're filming outside because all around you can see dry grass, and we're in mid-November, and that's an illustration of what's happening to the climate in Cyprus. There are 5-year cycles of more or less rainfall, but generally Cyprus is a very arid country, and probably as a consequence of climate change it's getting more arid as time goes by. So we're getting less and less rainfall, and we're getting more and more water being used, which can cause serious consequences such as desertification, but also can have an impact obviously on the water consumer.
The government is trying to economize by cutting the water, ration the water. 2 days we have water, 2 days we don't have, so that to make people use, of course, less water. This is inconvenient, and especially in the summer when water is more needed.
In response to this problem, which is a shared problem between the two communities, both communities really are sharing the same water resources to a great extent, the Environment Technical Committee, which was set up as part of the reconciliation talks on the island, decided that their first priority was to implement an island-wide water awareness campaign to really show that people are working together on this issue. So what is the campaign about? The campaign essentially is aimed both at ordinary consumers, but also at the agriculture sector, which uses more than 60% of the water on the island. And the aim is not just to convince people that saving water is a good thing. I think a lot of people know that at the back of their minds, but it's to help find solutions which are not outrageously expensive for the public, but also which are workable from a technical point of view, so that people can save water without affecting their finances or without affecting their way of life too much. The first public event of this water campaign was a workshop which was held in the buffer zone at the Fulbright Center. And the aim of this workshop really was to gather together all the stakeholders, all the people who are involved in one way or another in both communities in trying to get people to save water or to use water more wisely, to try and create a kind of a community of practice, a core group of people who will take this campaign further and actually make it happen on the rest of the island. We know that in many countries, environmental resources, in particular water, access to water, can be actually a cause of conflict. What I think the committee is trying to demonstrate in Cyprus is that cooperation on shared resources can also be a factor in building trust and reconciliation.
Nature does not recognize dividing lines, and that we share common environmental problems that can be effectively addressed through cooperation. I would like to point out that the great majority of the measures agreed upon by the two leaders are in the field of the environment, and they were prepared by the Environment Technical Committee. This is indicative of how nature and environment can bring the two communities together and contribute towards building cooperation and trust.
I hope that we will create more awareness measures and approach the usage of water with new saving technologies and also better understanding of our common problem by the citizens of the island, which is the mission of this project. The main important issue is to put a balance between demand and usage of the existing water resources. People should be aware of the post-recovery issue while consuming water for drinking, irrigation, and other usages.
The fact that the two communities are coming together to solve this very important for both communities problem, shortage of water, can also increase the trust between the two communities in other areas, in other problems.
There are two levels of volunteerism in this project. The first level is the fact that the members of the committee themselves, you can see them as high-level volunteers in the sense they all have full-time jobs and they come and together on a regular basis because they believe in what they're doing. But at the same time, this project, the water campaign, involves the Cyprus Environment Stakeholder Forum, which essentially is a loose network of environmental stakeholders and from different disciplines, from different parts of society, from all over the island, who were created in 2007 to come up with common solutions for common environmental problems. And all the members of this forum are volunteers. There are two advantages to working with volunteers. The first advantage is commitment. When somebody volunteers for something, usually it means that they're doing it because they believe in it, because there's no really other incentive to get involved. But also it's ownership. By getting the public involved in this water awareness campaign, you're essentially making sure that they have ownership of this campaign. They have a say in how it's done and they feel that this is their campaign.
Volunteers in making people aware of economizing water is the most effective, rather than the people from the government who are paid to do the job.
I think that this experience is new. The fact that we're using dwindling shared resources as a factor in peace building, I think that's an approach that can be used in many parts of the world. I think some people are examining the opportunity in Sudan, for example, of looking how people there could cooperate on dwindling water resources. There are many other conflicts situations or post-conflict situations around the world which definitely could benefit from this transboundary approach.